So is the Varo app a scam? Now, I've actually done a video about this app before, but not really the entire app and what I actually think about the entire thing, but actually just the savings portion when I actually recommended to you guys that you actually get a savings account with them because their rates are very competitive and they offer I think between 2.10% to like 2.20%, which is not that bad. It's actually way better than the average, and you know that regular banks only pay you like around 0.15%. That's less than 1%. So I decided to do a full review on the entire app because one of you guys actually commented and told me, Tommy, I want to see a video on this. And after doing a lot of research, a ton of research, going through the terms of services, going through every single dialogue that I could actually find out there, I decided that it's one of the best apps that I've actually seen so far. But it does fall short in a few things. But I always tell you guys this, right? All these apps work very good, but the number one thing is probably customer service, and it's not that good. So, like I always do in all my videos, we're actually going to call customer service right now and see how long it actually takes them to answer and actually figure out what's going on. So let's call them right now. Okay, something I did like about this app is that they put their phone number literally everywhere. So that kind of shows me that the app is very good at customer service. That's why I'm actually gonna try it out, because a lot of apps, financial apps, they rarely put their customer service like number like on the front screen because they want to avoid getting calls and they want to just like get chats and emails. So let's call them right now and let's see what they say.
Welcome to Varo's customer support line. Your call is being transferred to a customer service agent. Please hold for the next available customer service representative. Your call will be handled in the order that it was received and may be monitored for quality control.
Okay, so now they're on the clock. Let's see how long it actually takes them to actually answer the clock. Now, they do say that they have a 24-hour.
Thank you for calling Varo Money. This is Brooklyn. How can I help you today?
Hey, Brooklyn. My name is TommyBryson. I'm not a member yet, but I am considering becoming a member, so I'm just calling in to like get some more details. Is that okay, Brooklyn?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, awesome. So I just have some questions about like the fees, and a few other things about the account. Can you tell me a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, so with Varo, your bank account and your savings account have absolutely no fees. And so there won't be like a foreign transaction fee or like a overdraft fee or anything like that. ATM fee, like we'll never charge you for those. So if there is a fee associated with your account, it would be something else. Like, for example, some ATMs still charge fees, so it might be through them directly, but we personally will never charge you any fee of any kind.
And do you guys like, because I know like some banks and stuff like that, like when you use an ATM that charges you a fee, like they would reimburse you, they would like give you back the money. Do you guys do that?
We don't reimburse if the ATM charges a fee, but we do have a feature in the app that helps you to locate all the ATMs that don't have a fee, that makes it easy for you to choose those. And if you find another one that you want to use, you'll have to cover the fee, but we do like set you up with a network of ones that are available for use that won't charge you.
Awesome. And I also read that you guys have like a network of like 55,000 ATMs like for withdrawals.
Yeah, that's correct. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. But I also saw that it's like for withdrawals, and then I saw that to get actually like to deposit like cash into the account, like you have to go to like a Rite Aid or something like that, and they charge you like I think it's like 5.95.
Yeah, so once again, we won't charge a fee, but sometimes other places will. And as of right now, the only way to deposit cash onto the account is by using a network called Green Dot.
Yeah.
And so what happens is you'll go and you'll put the cash onto the card, and they do charge a fee. I think that it's like $5 or $4.95
Yeah.
to be able to put the cash onto the card. And so there is that with them. But there is that option that you have to deposit cash onto the card.
Hmm. And do you think like eventually Brooklyn, like you guys are gonna have like on it like how do I say, it's like individual like ATMs that are gonna let us like deposit money like without being charged fees? Like for example, like I'm an entrepreneur and I'm constantly depositing into my bank account like maybe like 10 times like a week. So that's like 10 times 4, that's like 40 times 5, that's like 120 something like that, $120 just in like fees. So do you think like eventually like there will be a way to like just deposit into the Varo account like directly with no fees?
Yeah, I think that it will be. We're working on like everything right now and just trying to build everything up. And we know that this is kind of one of the like pain points, is this is the only way to deposit cash onto the card. And so we're definitely looking at ways to solve that as we grow. And so I do think that in the future that will definitely be something that we overcome.
Awesome. And then I also read a little bit about like your savings accounts and like how competitive the rates are. Can you tell me a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, so we do have like one of the highest savings interest rates, and so what happens is when you first open your account, you'll qualify for the lower savings interest rate, and that's 2.12%. And then as long as you receive a direct deposit into your account, let me look up the exact amount. Just one moment.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, and so the first one that you open up, it is the percentage of 2.12%.
Yeah.
And then as long as you meet the requirements, you can qualify for the higher savings rate, which is 2.8%.
Oh, wow.
And it's the amount of the deposit that you need to receive into your account is at least $1,000 into your Varo bank account.
Yeah.
In direct deposits each month, as well as you need to use your card for at least 5 purchases each calendar month. And as long as those things happen and you have less than $50,000 in the savings account, then you'll qualify for the 2.8%.
Awesome. And then I think I read a little bit about it. I think it says like I could like buy like Starbucks and stuff like that and just like qualify for those like 5 purchases, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what type of purchases it is. It could be like a $1, $2 purchase.
Oh, that's
you just
insane.
need to
That's
have
awesome.
those 5.
Yeah. And what about the direct deposit? Because does it have to be like, for example, like I said before, like I'm an entrepreneur, so I can have like things like being transferred, but I'm not under like any employment or anything like that.
That's a great question. You mean that you like have that amount of money coming in, but it's not from like a specific like employer direct deposit that you're receiving every month?
Yeah, exactly. Like I have a ton of money coming in, like I'm depositing and I'm making sales and stuff like that, but I don't get paid like salary based from like an employer or ACH bank or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great question. Do you mind if I place you on a brief hold as I just get a little bit more information on that to ensure I get the correct answer?
Yeah, that's fine, Brooklyn. No problem.
All right, thanks. I'll be right back with you.
Okay. Now, I'm asking her this question, but I already know the answer to it. And here's the thing, right? If you are not employed and you're not getting like direct deposits from like an employer, you're not allowed to get that 2.8% interest rate. And that's the correct answer. I searched the entire terms and everything like that, and I found the answer for that. But she's basically obviously reading from a script. Although she is reading from a script, she's very good. And I do have to say that the customer service so far is stellar. I've called different companies, and you guys saw that some companies didn't even answer. Like, it took like more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes to get connected. But with her, I was connecting like literally in like less than 3 minutes. So far, so good. But I don't like the entire thing that I have to deposit money using an all point. What is it called? Like, I think it's like 1 point. I don't know, like green dot.
All right, thank you so much for holding. And just to confirm, what is the way that you would be depositing the money that you earn each month into the account?
Well, for example, like I have a JP Morgan account with Chase. So most of the time I'm depositing money into that. Like I could just like do like automated transfer like into the account, into the savings account. But I don't know if that qualifies as.
Okay. Yeah, so the type of transactions that aren't considered like a government or payroll direct deposit do include ACH transfers from another bank account. And so, unfortunately, those would not qualify for the direct deposit that you need to receive into the account.
So is there a way for me like to qualify under any circumstance without like having like a regular like employment?
You do need to receive the direct deposits from like a payroll, like a sorry, I can't think of words right now, a payroll direct deposit each month. And so ACH transfers, as well as like Venmo, PayPal transfers, or like cash deposits, mobile deposits, those don't qualify. It does have to be a payroll direct deposit.
Okay, so then the only thing I could qualify for is probably like for the 2.12% like interest rate a year, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Until you would receive a direct deposit, if that ever happens.
Yeah, it probably won't, but that's fine. And what about the because I read a little bit about the app and everything, and I also saw that you guys aren't just like a regular checking and savings account, but you guys actually do like roundups and like automatically like take money from like for example, if I were getting paid for like a regular employee, like you guys would take a specific percentage of that paycheck before it even hits and like deposit into my savings accounts. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, the Save Your Change.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how it works is that with each of money that comes into your savings account, it just helps you build up extra money. And so we round up the nearest dollar on like transactions that you make, and then we just take those funds. It's kind of like if you think about if you were to pay and then receive your money back, just always taking your change and putting it like in a piggy bank.
Yeah,
it's kind of that same thing. And so we just round up to the nearest dollar, and then we take that and put it into your savings account, so that you'll have access to it, which helps you save a lot of money in the long run.
Yeah, that's awesome, because like all that spare change like adds up, trust me. And
yeah, definitely.
And what about because what was it? I think you guys like, I saw like on the app store, like you guys had like a little picture of like how you guys like helps like people like what is it, like manage your expenses and stuff like that, like with bill planning and a whole bunch of other things like that.
Yeah. So what happens is you can actually just in the app you can set up like you can set up goals of like how much money that you want to set on specific things, and then it will let you know if your goal is like in progress or completed. And that's all available in the app. As long as you have an iPhone, it'll be on the goals tab up there. And so you can just create whatever type of goal that you want, and then it will let you know like your progress on the goals, and you can delete them or restart them or add new ones at any time.
That's crazy. And so that also includes like saving goals and also spending goals. Like for example, if I have like a big purchase or like a vacation or anything like that, I can set goals like that also, and like saving goals.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. And what about because I saw that you guys also are getting into like loans and stuff like that, like consolidating loans, and also like in case like I said before, like if I need to go on a trip and I don't want to save for it, but I want to like just borrow the money from you guys. How does that work?
Yeah, so you'll just apply for a personal loan through the app, and then we'll like charge like a specific interest rate depending on the situation. Like, just like kind of how much of a like trusted customer you are, then the interest rate depends. But what will happen is you'll like submit the request for the loan, and then we'll make an offer, and you can choose to either accept or request the loan offer. And for the personal loan. And
I'm borrowing the money directly from you guys, or is it like a third party type thing?
No, it is from us.
Oh, from you guys directly. And do you guys have like a range of like interest rates that you guys give?
That's a good question. Let me check on that to see if there's like a specific.
Okay, awesome, Brooklyn. Thank you.
Like span of it. Just one moment. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So again, another question that I'm asking her, because I didn't get this answer from the website. They actually don't tell you this type of stuff. So that's why I'm asking her, and she didn't even know either. So maybe she's reading it directly from the website, but she's not getting the answers because they're not there. Let's keep talking. Let's keep listening.
All right. And it looks like the percentage rates range from anywhere between 8.9% to 24.9%, depending, like I said, on the quality of your credit score. Okay.
So is it 8.9% and 24%? And is it a little different depending on what you want it for? Like, for example, what's the range for like debt consolidation? Because I know that's a little bit more different than just like borrowing cash to like spend it on something.
Yeah, exactly. It does depend on the situation, and so it'll have you fill in that information as well. I'm not sure exactly like the different ranges off the top of my head for like debt or anything else other than that, but it does depend on the situation as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brooklyn. Like, I think that's really all the things I wanted to cover and actually like get more information on until like I get my decision in.
Okay, yeah, you're welcome. If you have anything else, don't hesitate to call in. That's what we're here for.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. And you're in Utah, right?
You're welcome. Yeah, that's correct.
Awesome. All right.
Our call center office that we have.
All right, cool. Thank you, Brooklyn. Have a good day.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. Wow. Now, I'm impressed by the customer service, the knowledge she had, and I can easily tell that she was reading off a script, off the website, off whatever, because the questions that I actually had to ask her, she didn't really know the answers to right away. And I think 8.9% to to like 24.9% isn't really that bad for a loan, but it isn't that good compared to Moneyline offering people like a $500 loan for like 4.9%. And also for debt consolidation, Tally has better rates of 7.9%. So that's actually better. But with this app, I don't expect really that much, because what they're actually doing is creating savings accounts and checking accounts. And they're offering like very high rates on these things. So they might want to make some money, maybe like a 1% more money 4% more money, like based on doing these little loans. Now, I do want to mention a few other things, and I'm sorry if this video seems a little bit long, but I wanted to get the information straight from the horse's mouth rather than just me talking to you guys and just telling you my opinion and you guys not trusting me, because I've gotten messages where you guys don't trust me, so I'm getting it straight from the horse's mouth. I want to talk about a few things though before I actually get going here. The basis of the app is basically, it's a bank account, right? Checking and savings. The savings have like a yield of 2.12%, right? Which is one of the highest ever. Even Discover has like a 2.10%. And I think the only one that's actually competing against them is Marcus by Goldman Sachs. They offer 2.25%, and you don't need any of the ridiculous things where you need to have a regular job or anything like that. But if you do have a regular job, I really recommend Varo because you're getting 2.8%, bro. That's completely insane. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the ATMs factor, right? They have 55,000 ATMs, but if you're depositing more money than you're withdrawing, like for my case, right, I deposit a ton of money. I also withdraw a ton of money, right? Because I'm constantly needing money. I'm also constantly making money, so I'm always depositing stuff like that. So imagine this, right? Imagine this. Imagine I'm making like, let's say like, for example, I make like 10 deposits every single week, maybe more, depending, right? So check this out. 10 deposits times 4, that's 40 deposits a month. I'm being charged $5. That's $200 in deposits every time I go to one of the ATMs. It's insane. It's ridiculous. Now, there is a way to get around this, and she could have actually mentioned it, but she didn't, and that's fine, Brooklyn. You don't have to know everything. But a way to actually get around this is actually just having a regular bank account, right? You have a regular bank account, and you deposit the money there for free, and then you take the money from there and you put it into your Varo savings account or your checking accounts. I don't really know why you would actually need to have money in your checking account there, because the main factor for me in this entire thing is actually just going in there for the savings accounts, which is very good. So if you have a regular job, I really recommend it. And honestly, guys, that's really about it. Like, this app is very good. Now, by the way, I have a summary of all the information that I mentioned down there in the comments below. So if you want to read that, make sure you read it and actually go through it so you can see everything that I'm talking about. But the main factors of this entire thing, right? The main drawbacks are, for example, there are no like cash deposits that you're not paying money for, and there's also no checks. You don't get any checks for this. If you want to pay a bill with a check, like old people and stuff like that, you're gonna just have to do like a bill pay, and that takes between 3 to 9 days. Now, when it comes to every single thing in the app, I think they're doing a very good job at mastering what I've been talking about in this channel for a very long time. For example, if you have an app, right, that I discussed this before, when I talked about the current app, when I talked about the Tally app, when I talked about the Moneyline app, I discussed all these things, and it seems to me that this app is actually taking everything, all my concerns, not just my concerns, I don't think it's just for me, but people's concerns, and actually creating something that's very good. Now, here's my main thing, right? If this app has the customer service, the checking accounts, and by the way, it gives you the money 2 days early before you actually get paid, so that's very good. If you have a regular job, you get paid 2 days early. For example, you have a savings account that earns you a ton of money. You also have budgeting, you also have goals, you also have tracking, and it shows you like this friendly way of actually making and saving money, which I really appreciate. Guys, I like this app. I might be installing it in my phone, but I might not, because I don't have a regular job, and if I wanted a savings accounts, which is really what I want to do, I might just go with the alternatives of Marcus by Goldman Sachs, which they offer 2.25% on the savings accounts. But if you have a regular job, by the way, guys, I'm not a regular customer. I'm not the regular person. I'm not the regular like customer at all. I am an entrepreneur, but I think like maybe like 10% of the population like are entrepreneurs, and most of us are always failing and always succeeding and stuff like that, but you have to keep trying. But if you're like in the 90%, right, of the working class, and you want to save money and you want to earn money, then do this. Because, for example, right, and I want to do this last piece of math before I actually leave this channel, but check this out. If you have $20,000 saved up, and you're receiving like, let's say times 0.021% in your savings accounts from like Discover, you get $420, right? But if you do the exact same thing and you put it in Varo, you get this much money. $20,000 times 0.028, you get $560. That's almost a full $100 more, and it adds up over time. I really like this app, guys, and for the first time on this channel, I actually like one of these apps. But I almost forgot something, right? I almost forgot something before I almost hanged up the phone. And if you made it this far, you actually made it to something that is one of my main concerns. I almost forgot about this, right? I was reading the agreements, right? And in the agreements of the entire thing, they also say this, right? They say right to set off. If your account has been negative, they can take the money from your savings accounts. And by the way, what this means is, if you, for example, a bank charges you like overdrafts and stuff like that, which is fine. Like, I don't like it, but they do it. But I don't know if because they don't charge you like overdraft fees. For example, if your account is negative, right? If it's negative, like I'm Netflix, I just charged you $10 and your account is negative $10, they can actually charge you money, right? If you haven't been paying it in a while, maybe like 1 to 2 days, I think, they can take the money from there. They can take your money from your savings accounts and put it into your checking accounts to actually turn it positive. That's not really the best thing in my opinion, right? Because my guess is like you have money there and you don't want it to be touched because it's just for your savings, and they can actually have the right to actually take that money. A second thing is the legal procedures and affecting savings. If your wages are garnished, now this is something that's very common. I'm not surprised by this. If you have a legal problem, right, you get sued or anything like that, and people are charging you money and they're gonna garnish your wages, especially for people that have like kids and they don't pay like child support. Why don't you pay child support? But if you have like kids and you don't pay child support and they're charging you money and they're going to garnish your wages, Varo actually gets first dibs before anyone else. So they take their money first and then those people actually take their money. And yes, they do comply. They do comply to these things. So don't think just because you have an online savings account, you're going to get away from getting your wages garnished. Now, the third thing is a qualifying deposit. I think I already spoke about that, which is basically that you can't have like deposits going in and out like that. Like it has to be from an employer so you can actually qualify for that 2.8%. The fifth and last thing is the confidentiality agreement, right? Now, I read about this. I think it was like in clause 8. I read about this, and guys, I only really do this deep of a research when I actually like the app and I want to make sure everything is fine, because if I'm going to be recommending a product to you guys, I want to make sure that you guys are getting the best thing. Now, I read about this, right, that they do not sell the information to anyone. That's what they said, right? They don't sell the information to anyone, but if you read in the description of their agreements, it also says they can and have the right to share the information, your information, with their affiliates and also their service providers. I don't know what the hell that means, and it just sounds scary to me. An affiliate can mean someone that is selling a product for you, or someone that you're working outside of your entire company, but they're your affiliates and people that actually providing the service. So I don't know, maybe they're not selling your information, but they are sharing your information with other people. Who those people are, I don't know. Is that a deal breaker for you? Call them in. Ask them these questions and actually find out for yourself. Guys, my name is TommyBryson. If you don't know me, you know me now. I like this app, man. What can I say? I'll see you guys in the next video. Subscribe, like, and comment, and do all that fancy stuff, because every single time you comment, it helps the video out a ton. So if you appreciate the information I give you, if you appreciate anything, just do that. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace.
You've got to start at the bottom.